Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Of all the streaming services out there, only one is different. Discovery Plus. It's the greatest collection of real-life entertainment on the planet. 55,000 episodes of food, love, true crime, home, from networks like TLC, HGTV, and tons more. Yes! With stars like Chip and Jo, an exclusive new series from 90 Day Fiancé, all in one place. Bam! Discovery Plus. Stream now. Stream what you love.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what are you guys up to?
Oh, little weed, you know.
It's the Weedsman Podcast Nugget.
Zippity what?
Ready to drop the bass? Let's drop the bass.
Whoop-de-doo. What does it all mean?
All the random stuff that didn't fit in Friday's show you'll find here.
Oh, okay.
Hey, man. You got a joint?
Put a little bit of reefer smell on your boy.
What that mean?
Please, just give me my weed, all right?
And Google's got, I wonder if this is what Trump was talking about. That Google is going to do a website about what to do about coronavirus. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you heard this part of the story. Well, no, he said that Google is going to have this, resource, a knowledge base that people could use. And apparently this was news to Google.
Well, Trump, all you really got to do is just Google coronavirus. You can get all the shit you need. Google COVID-19.
You get a lot of misinformation too. So they have Google's thing is do the 5. It's a hand that's counting up to 5. Does it mean like give everyone a high five? High five everybody who
with coronavirus
has successfully 1. Hands, wash them often. 2. Elbows, cough into it. 3. Face, don't touch it. 4. Feet, stay more than 3 feet apart. 5. Feel sick, stay home. 6. Teenage suicide, don't do it.
Yeah, right. If I had to hear that song again, I'm going to kill myself.
Face, don't touch it. There's just no way. I don't know what all this nonsense
Remember when
is
20-somethings tried to sound older when they wrote?
We've been laughing at, there was the woman who was listing through like how to, it was part of, I think she got up after Trump addressed the press about COVID-19. And she was telling people about how to stay safe and make sure that they don't get contaminated. And part of that was like not touching your face. And then she goes to turn the page and licks her finger.
Yeah.
Or Trump, even Reuters is using, in conjunction with coronavirus stories, even Reuters is using the picture of Trump like touching the side of his eye.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
He looks like he's going to poke his eye.
I thought he missed touching his face. Remember he said he missed it.
Right. He touches his face right after saying that.
Yeah.
But I'm not laughing at these people going, oh, they're so stupid. Like, I'm laughing along with them because I realize, like, this is useless information telling us to not touch our faces. We will naturally develop a sense of what we're coming in contact with before we curb our habits of touching our own body.
I was reading an article before you got here that said there's no way that you can control whether or not you get this because there's too many variables. Like you can do your best to do but there's too many. When you leave your house, there's too many variables.
But
there's too many people you come in contact. You know what I'm saying? Like,
comparing this to the thing that I always like to that disrupts people's lives on a daily basis, traffic accidents. Nobody can tell you that no matter how safe a driver you are, how competent you are,
blow a light.
There's not 100% chance that you're never going to get into an accident. There's going to be random chaotic factors. So in that way, it's just like nothing else in life.
Yeah.
And we're going to adapt because we're just going to learn to deal with it the same way we do with dealing with the fact that traffic accidents happen every day and we get on the freeway day after day still, rolling those dice because the chances are very low. But yeah, I mean, you're not going to stop people from touching their face or
sometimes it's involuntary. Sometimes you don't even think about it. I bet Trump wasn't even thinking about it when he touched his eye.
And I understand the idea. And the idea is that you touch a lot of things that you don't realize. So if you could just stop that from going that extra last step, getting up the driveway from your hands to your face, then you're going to be safe. But what's actually going to be more practical, and what people are already doing, is just being more aware. I went and got Arizona iced tea. It stopped at the gas station before I got here, right? Mm-hmm. I was aware of touching handles, and didn't necessarily drastically alter my behavior, but I was highly aware of the fact that the guy had to touch my soda or my drink to scan it.
I can't believe I'm admitting this out loud. I did this when I went to the door handle dispensary today. I put my hand inside my sleeve. But then again, it's going to get on my sleeve, and it's going to be on me. So what am I really doing?
But the hand is the key because the hand's the direct vector. The hand goes everywhere. Our hands are very curious.
But it's still going to be on my clothes, and it will eventually get on me. Like
actively thinking about it. Not necessarily. Getting on your index finger is much different than getting on your sleeve. There was a video going around from Scrubs, a show that I haven't really seen much of, but are you aware of this episode where they watch possible viral transmission by highlighting?
Yeah.
The two doctors are watching people, like nurses and doctors and patients, all coming in contact with each other and how the virus could spread.
That was a season finale. I even think that was the season 6. Wow, I've watched it a lot. I even think that was the season 6 finale. That was their last NBC season, I think.
Were they a show to survive a network jump?
Yes, they were one of the first. They were actually one of the trendsetters.
Oh, really?
At least in the millennium, yeah. NBC shut them down and they finished up on ABC.
But even that's still kind of rare to go between the big networks. For somebody else to scoop you up, it's not often that a show goes from ABC, NBC, CBC to one of the other.
There we go.
That morning seemed like any other. Dr. Mickhead was back, having beaten the rap on murdering his spouse.
Yeah, I actually haven't heard this I haven't seen it with sound.
Dr. Kelso was having his daily staring contest with the last double chocolate chip muffin.
Breathing all over that thing.
I know, right? Just
always do.
Guy works in a hospital. I think you'd be conscious of that.
What is it? People who have to get really close to food.
Would someone explain what that bird is doing in my
they have to. People who stick their heads under the sneeze guards at the salad bar to stare. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, why do you need an up close look at that shit?
The dude who has to point directly to his items that he wants on his Subway sandwich by reaching over the guard that's there to keep
that's away.
What the fuck?
Your breath?
Authorized personnel only.
You know how quickly infection spreads in a
Do you have any pets that you want to just come and hover over the meat section real quick?
Look, infection can start with a sneeze.
Okay, so mom blows the kid's nose. Her hand turns yellow to highlight it.
Yeah, shakes hand with the doctor, passes on to him. He bumps into a nurse.
Drops the papers. She helps him pick them up.
No, she's got it.
She's got yellow hand. She's got the yellow fever.
Yep. Now
Is that yellow or green?
Green. Now she touches a patient in a tank top.
I'm colorblind.
Oh, I keep forgetting about
Chinatown is awesome.
Oh, yeah, this guy's got it on his crotch and his face and his ass.
I want that bird gone.
That was the joke.
You know that episode? It ends super sad with a woman who's just about to get out of a hospital from recovering from a terminal infection. She ends up getting reinfected, and then I believe the next episode is her dying.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's what that show did.
That's some fucked up shit.
Oh,
what's up with that?
There's an episode they have with Brendan Fraser that every time I see it, I fucking cry.
With Brendan Fraser, huh?
Yes. Well, no, because the way it's written.
He's, Brendan Fraser.
Spoiler alert on a 20-year-old TV show. You find out he's dead the entire episode, and the whole episode is this guy, trying to deal with his best friend dying.
They sixth sense.
Oh, yeah, they sixth sense you, for sure. Well, actually, no. He's only dead for a quarter to a third of the episode.
Wow.
But yeah, it's this guy dealing with his best friend dying. And yeah, every time I see it, I get a little dusty. It's like, oh my God, the end.
I kind of miss that because with all the genre type television that we have on TV now, so not just superhero stuff, but all the horror, fantasy shows. So all the magic has been relegated to that type of entertainment. So we don't get those magic little moments thrown into our realistic quote unquote show. Like what you were describing, or the end of St. Elsewhere when the whole thing ends up being in the snow globe of the retarded kid.
Yeah. Oh.
And I know that. Newhart. Newhart wakes up at the end of his second series run.
It's all a dream from his first.
And it was all a dream. They show him waking up in the bed with his wife from the original show going, I had the weirdest dream that I was a therapist.
Yeah.
Or wait, was it therapist?
We owned an inn in Vermont.
It was the therapist.
The first show he was the therapist.
The first show he was a therapist, yes, thank you. Little stuff like that.
Didn't someone else do something like that recently? When I say recently, it probably means the last 20 years.
I don't know, but it used to pop up more often. Like, there'd be an episode of Hill Street Blues where something unexplained happened, and like, I don't know, there was a mysterious woman who like could predict what was going to happen to somebody, and she ended up being right. And they don't explain it. They just let it be a mystery. But you don't get that stuff. It's like you have shows for that now, right? Yeah. You have whole shows about ghosts and whole shows about vampires and whole shows about unexplained events and UFOs and aliens.
Which, by the way,
you don't get to sprinkle that in, like, I don't know, like an episode of Chips where somebody gets abducted by an alien.
Tangentially related, did you hear the movies had their worst weekend since 9/11?
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer that, I don't know. I mean,
I was at work Friday. I was downtown Detroit on Friday, Woodward. It's like It's like Omega Man.
Really?
Dude, it was weird. It was so weird.
Wow.
Like driving to work Friday morning, it felt like it was Christmas.
See,
the freeway was that empty.
I spend my weekends pretty much quarantined anyway, so like really don't.
Well, it's funny. It's Mandy and I were like social distancing. Got that fucking covered.
Right.
We already don't like people and already don't hang out with anybody.
Right. Gen X is like, who the fuck are you talking to? We invented social distancing.
You're talking about our weekend. That's a Gen X weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, Bloodshot is going to come out. It came out this weekend. That's going to not do well because nobody's going to see movies. Mm-hmm. It's kind of upsetting because Bloodshot is a movie that I want to see do really well. Bloodshot it's based on a comic book like a lot of stuff is these days, but it's not strictly superhero based. Early reviews, one of them compared it more to RoboCop in vibe than your average Marvel movie. So it's a different type. It's somebody other than your cookie cutter Marvel hero or your dark version of the DC hero.
Yeah.
It's something else that I want to see get traction because I want to see, ultimately, I don't just want to see Marvel movie after Marvel movie. I mean, if they keep doing them at this quality, I'm going to go see them. But like the rising tide that raises all boats, part of what they're betting on is that the Marvel tide will raise the Valiant boat, Valiant being the company that owns Bloodshot. This is the Vin Diesel movie. Have you seen any commercials for this at all?
No.
So Bloodshot, he has nanites that are in his bloodstream that can rebuild his body. So he's kind of like Wolverine where he regenerates really quickly, but even at a faster pace. Like you can blow a hole through this guy and in seconds he's going to be whole again.
I have to realize now, I realized this the other day, none of the algorithms on any of the things we watch think I like that stuff. So the commercials we see aren't like...
Yeah. I started
realizing our TV thinks me and Mandy are probably 30 years older than we are by all the commercials we see. It's all the stuff she watches. Dude, I see so many drug commercials.
The TV's like, Blue Bloods, she probably needs a vaginal mesh.
Yeah, right?
Her ovaries are falling out.
Yeah. Like we see commercials for like the hover round, like a bunch of drugs. Yeah. Like I'm not making this shit up.
Get one of those elevator chairs that go up the stairs.
Yeah, I tried to tell her like these things now. This isn't like it's the commercials. No, it's based on what we watch. It's playing the commercials based on what we watch, whether it's Hulu
ads are not fucking around anymore.
Or Xfinity, yeah. So no, I don't get to see commercials for things like this because it doesn't think we watch stuff like that. It doesn't think we like things like that.
Well, it's pretty on target. You're probably not going to go see this movie.
It's true.
So the algorithm works.
But I don't see any TV. I don't see any movie previews. Might be something I might want to see.
I cannot say algorithm without thinking of Kimmy Schmidt now.
Why?
It was in the last season. What's her roommate's name? Titus.
Yes.
Titus is explaining the internet to Kimmy, who was in a bunker forever. And he's like, oh, yeah, it's this great place where all this information lives. And there's even a special method that was invented by one of our ex-vice presidents to access it. The algorithm. Which is perfect.
You know who's got to be loving this
I
stuff?
can't say algorithm without thinking of Al Gore humping away on his wife. Just sweating.
You know he's sweating too.
He's
not in
sweating.
shape. You know, Netflix has got to be loving the social distancing thing.
Oh, yeah.
Has their stock tripled in price?
Right.
Stock market's not even open.
I was surprised not to see food delivery services get in on the game as much. So I thought that would be a big one, but...
Well, like I got an email from the ones I use that talk about they'll do contactless delivery and all that.
Yes. Right, but I would think that, offering discounts or free delivery for people in need who, are
Grubhub is
susceptible.
waiving their fees to independent restaurants.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, something like that, because that's what I was thinking about, is all these restaurants that are losing out on tremendous amounts of business, and they could be recouping some of that by delivering. And then we could track the spread of the disease with Grubhub deliveries.
Right. Yeah, I'm surprised you're not seeing any. I'm sure there's going to be some restaurant chain that's going to do free delivery.
Yeah. But even like a lot of the ISPs, like Comcast, I already have good internet and I pay the extra $5 to have no data cap.
Mm-hmm.
But they lifted data cap and said that they're not going to.
Oh, they're going to give me money back?
No. And
because I'm paying for that too.
No, that's definitely not.
I'm paying for that too.
Yeah. What? No, that ain't happening.
Yeah, right.
But they're going to, I don't know, they have some offer extended for their low income internet service. They're not going to be shutting off services. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a bum deal for Bloodshot.
Well, it pushed back the release of so many movies.
Yeah.
What Adam Carolla's beside himself this week because his Fast and Furious 9 gets pushed back till next year.
Okay.
Well, anything that was going to come out, yeah. If you're going to come out in the next 2 weeks, you're just going, fuck.
Yeah. And it's not like you get a second shot at that. And however this industry works, it's so fucked up. You'd figure that as many people want to see a movie are going to see it, and they're going to pay to see it.
Yeah.
But... I don't know. I guess it makes that big of a difference. You would think that eventually everybody who didn't go out to the theaters because of some quarantine or whatever fear is going to pick that up on video and watch it at home.
Well, I was going to say, if you're smart and you got some juice and you do some scrambling, how quickly can we set up theater release and VOD same day?
I think that was what Disney might be looking at, because they have this... they already have this New Mutants movie that they have to cobble together and figure out what to do with. And it's going to be a tough sell as is. Even though it's a superhero-based movie, it's a little bit different genre. It's leaning into the horror stuff. It's dealing with properties that nobody in the general public is familiar with at all. It's wrapping up something that's already been killed off. It's the tail end of the X-Men universe that we already saw finish. There's no expectation. It doesn't tie in anything from the past. It doesn't set up anything for the future. It is a completely standalone movie that lives in limbo, so to speak, because Magic, one of the main characters of New Mutants, her mutant power is actually to travel to a place called Limbo. So that was a little in-joke for the people who knew. But literally, this movie is in limbo.
They're running out of creative
and
juice
it's kind of a miracle that it even gets put out
just call
anyway.
It limbo.
I think in the past they would have scrapped this, but there is this idea of fan service, the good side of fan service, where companies are considering, well, look, it's not going to make a shit ton of money, but we already have it. Like, let's put this out because there's going to be people that appreciate it, like myself, if it ends up being a decent movie. But yeah, now there's been talk of them actually just going straight to Disney Plus or Hulu with this movie, and possibly concurrent with the theater release, but who knows?
Well, quite honestly, if you're the movie industry, this is now is a time for an opportunity to test this. Do a really big movie with a theater release and VOD the same day and see what happens. This could be where the industry changes. Well, if you own a movie theater, you might be pissed.
They have, but it's difficult to judge with movies like Manchester by the Sea, because how many people were going to go out and see Manchester by the Sea in the theater anyway?
Do it with like the next Avengers and see what happens.
Right, that's the true test. And I think and that's the thing with these superhero type movies, these and even horror genre stuff. People do want to go see it in the theaters. I bet you're going to lose out on theater dollars if you do a same-day release. But with a movie like Avengers Endgame, everyone wants to go to the theater. They want big subwoofers that are going to rumble their seats. They want everyone there, having the experience of being wowed by special effects and tight costumes.
Then we get ScarJo and some latex. Let's go.
The Weedsman Podcast. ChristopherMedia.net.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
ChristopherMedia.net. The Weedsman Podcast.
Do you realize now that there are guys out there like, whatever, she's old.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
She is. She's like 40.
I love how you can kind of see
21.
This early on. Scarlett Johansson, yes, when she started, she was, actually going back to before I even knew who the fuck she was working as a really young girl.
No, but when we were 21, we'd see the 40-year-old actress be like, whatever, she's old. There's probably dudes out there now who are like, whatever, she's old. It's all about some actress whose name we don't know.
I've never been one of those guys, though. Like, oh, she's old. Like, it's either you're attractive or you're not.
It's true.
The
dick don't care.
I've always been into older women.
I'm married to one.
What was I just talking about, though? I lost my train of thought.
I brought up Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, Scarlett Johansson.
What happened to anybody?
I don't know what my thought. It's just funny thinking about her career. There's like all these early roles where she was playing pretty straightforward, like dramas and stuff like that. She wasn't playing superhero action, sci-fi stuff.
Oh, what was it? Ghost? Did you ever see Ghost World?
But Ghost World would be the first movie that I remember seeing her in.
It's her and Thora Birch. Why do I remember that? I don't know.
Yeah. I love that movie. Steve Buscemi's in it. It's based on Daniel Clowes. It actually is based on a comic book. Ghost World is. So she started pretty early on with the genre stuff. It just wasn't evidently genre from the movie. But then I think, what was the movie? It was like The Island. Was that the one that she did with Ewan McGregor, where it was like, let's just put two really good looking Hollywood stars in a tight white outfit and have them run across the field for 2 hours. Yeah. Can we do that?
Let's put them in a locale where neither of them has to wear much clothes. They're both going to be shredded at the time.
And from
their top physical shape.
And from there on out, it was like, I can't picture what Scarlett Johansson looks like in normal clothes anymore, right? I picture her in my head and she's that robot from whatever that movie was.
Yeah.
She's Scarlet Witch, or not Black Widow.
Yeah. No, Scarlett's her real name. What? She has music. Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, and speaking of Black Widow, that was another thing that has been actually talked about. I don't know if these are just rumors or what, but I think Disney are actually looking at, with this upcoming release of Scarlet. Why would I keep wanting to call her Scarlet Witch? The Black Widow movie, which is, I mean, it's a big deal because it's a Marvel movie, and they always are a big deal. They make a lot of money, a lot of people go see them. But this is also Marvel going, hey, we've got a strong female-led movie for you that, you know, is going to be a little different. And I don't, you know, I think everyone wants this movie to do really well, right? Mm-hmm. Sure, there's those weirdos out there like thinking that more females in leading in movies is pushing some sort of agenda down their throat.
Is it bad that I'm disappointed in that this is what her music sounds like?
Who? So this is Scarlett Johansson? I've heard other stuff that she's done that's like more poppy.
That's what this says.
Well, I mean, this is pretty poppy, but like not this guitar, like,
I figure with her
pop
acting
stuff.
Choices, her music would at least be artistic.
This is from a soundtrack for a kids movie. She's singing the song that was written for a kids movie.
Oh, is this more what I'm looking for? Pete Yorn and Scarlett Johansson?
Yes.
Is this going to be more what I'm looking for?
This is, well, I don't know if it's what you're looking for, but this is... Oh, you've heard this in commercials. You know this one. This is in like fucking bank commercials and shit. Like, investing is confusing. Try an app that will make things easy for you.
Why did they...
Invest your hard-earned cash wisely with Chuba.
Can I find the engineer and kick him? Sing like Zooey Deschanel.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was totally it. Like, I don't think that Scarlett Johansson started singing because Zooey Deschanel did, but I think somebody decided to give Scarlett Johansson a record contract because Zooey Deschanel got one.
Right.
I mean, she's got a good pop voice. She's got that raspy, and that's one of the things. Like, even in Ghost World, that fucking voice, right? But she's she's attractive. She's, you know, symmetrical. She's got a nice body.
But the thing is, I don't trust anyone in the age of autotune anymore.
And then out pops this like 40-year-old I eat cigarettes voice, and I'm like, oh my god, that's great.
But in the age of where autotune is now undetectable, I don't trust it anymore.
But I noticed that I didn't really feel.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter. I mean, because it's not really doing much here.
Yeah.
You know, she's actually kind of doing a bit of that back of the throat Eddie Vedder thing. She just isn't projecting.
Like she's getting dangerously close to talk singing.
Yes. But, you know, we used to also have a much lower standard when it came to pop stars, especially in the 80s before auto-tune and post-Madonna, who is... I've said it many times, she's a talent, and singing is not amongst them.
Yeah. She's great at marketing.
I was listening to, I think they were playing a Debbie Gibson song on one of Adam Carolla's shows.
See, I'm way behind on Adam Carolla. I catch up, and I listen to him back. I listen to the most recent first.
And
no. I bet you I know exactly what he was talking about because it's.
I'm not talking about what he was talking about. I was just talking about Debbie Gibson. This is how it came out. I was listening to the Debbie Gibson song. Actually, what was the song? It wasn't. Electric Youth. Only in My Dreams, maybe.
I think Bill Hicks. What love are you shaking, Debbie? You're 12.
Do you remember this song?
Oh, yeah, my sister had all of these albums. I know all of them.
The thing is, like, she's doing nothing. She's doing almost no work. Right?
Hey, she wrote all of this music, man. That was the narrative on Debbie Gibson, where she wrote all of these awesome songs. Well, you're telling me a 17-year-old wrote Shake Your Love? Get out of town.
That is not... Like, if this was my cousin that got up and sang karaoke, I'd be like, yeah, dude, she's fucking great. Look at her go. You know? Not a talent worth, like, recording for...
This was
for any purpose.
This was a number one song, dude.
Oh, yeah.
And come on, we both, at some point, awkwardly felt a titty to this song.
No, I didn't.
Don't lie to me.
I'm not going to lie.
This song was out when you were in middle school. This song was out like 1988.
No. Middle school?
You might have awkwardly groped a girl to this song at some kind of dance.
Middle school.
This is at least a couple skate at a skating rink for you.
I didn't get any action in middle school. I was trying to think if there was like anything. Like nothing. I had a girl who was somehow declared my girlfriend, and I was like, okay, what do I do now? And I was informed by a third party, nothing will let you know if your services are needed.
What? What? What?
She lived down the street. She needed a boyfriend, and her friend was like, hey, she wants you to be her boyfriend. And I was like, yeah, what do I have to do? And the friend was like, so far nothing. Like, I have no further instructions for you, but I think maybe it was implied that I would go over and then talk to her and try and foster some sort of relationship. She was, I knew her through other people. She was kind of the bad girl though too. We went over our house one time and we listened to Slick Rick.
Showed your penis?
We listened to Slick Rick.
Oh.
I'd never really heard curse words in music before, I would imagine. The occasional, like, in a Who song or something that you don't even realize. But this was straight up, like, motherfucker in your face. I was like, whoa, dude. Like, hey, oh, yeah, it wasn't this one. This is a classic, though. But no, was it Slick Rick?
Hit it!
Maybe it wasn't Slick Rick. It was not Slick Rick.
Oh.
Because I was thinking, who was I thinking of then? It was somebody who was really dirty. Like
DJ Quick?
It might have been.
DJ Quick is the dirtiest.
I think that's what I did is that, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, 6th grade in the house. What up?
Yeah. This is what it was like.
Yeah.
I went and hung out with her and other people one time. We listened to this and other similar music. Probably, is this still too early for Two Live Crew?
No.
What year is this?
This is 91.
Yeah, maybe it wouldn't have been this then, because this is before I got to high school. But it was something like it. And I also had my first drink of alcohol, which was root beer schnapps, which tastes exactly like cough syrup, which made me think that all liquor tastes like cough syrup. So I just wondered then, from then I was, a nerd anyway in middle school and high school. Nobody offered me a drink. Nobody offered me a joint.
Hey guys, can I have some alcohol?
Can
you guys tell me where I can buy some drugs?
It wasn't like somebody tried to pass me the joint. I was like, no, man, I'm high on life. You guys I'm straight edge, man.
Hello, fellow kids.
I listen to Minor Threat. I was just like, I don't have any friends that can score. I wasn't looking either. It was just like, sure you'd talk about it. Like, oh, the drugs are for losers. I don't need drugs. But that was just kind of sour grapes because you weren't invited to the parties where they were having drugs and drinking.
Was she playing you this?
Yeah, but people are scared to have conversations like this, and that's what it boils down to.
Nah, this is still before Kid Rock. But approaching the era that soon after that would have been the era of seeing like Kid Rock and Esham and ICP popping up.
And now he does country.
Is this? Oh no!
Wax that booty, co-wax the booty.
I don't like. I'm glad that he eventually found his niche, right? Because I don't know what he was shooting for early on. Right? He was a white guy who styled himself like he was in Kid and Play.
Yeah.
But he did dirty shit. right?
Like oral sex would complete our relationship.
Like Kid and Play didn't do the dirtiest shit because they knew the real money was getting on MTV and dancing.
Was it though? Because it's 2020. We're still talking about Kid Rock. We talked about Kid and Play.
The money at the time.
Last time we saw Kid and Play was probably on a reality show.
No, that's what I'm saying. He eventually figured it out, but at this time, what the fuck was he doing? What was his big money-making scheme for this? Dressing like Vanilla Ice, but rapping like...
Luther Campbell?
No, not Luther Campbell. I don't know. I was going to say NWA or something. Yeah. But even that's not. That's kind of a slight.
Oh, yeah, I can see. It's dressing like Vanilla Ice, sounding like Eazy-E.
Yeah. Maybe it was Eazy-E that we were listening to.
First of all...
Spent the night at Sally's house. Woke up with cotton mouth. Couldn't speak, my tongue was weak from yodeling in the valley.
But yeah, back in the day, this is like gold. This is like an Andrew Dice Clay tape.
Yes.
You know, you'd get together and listen to this shit and be like, oh shit,
this was contraband back in the day.
Yeah.
This might have, you might as well had some weed.
Yeah.
If your parents found this.
You'd dub a tape for it for your friends, and you'd put on it like Journey's greatest hits.
No, I didn't. I wrote what it was. My parents didn't know what. They had no idea what was going on. Kid Rock, who's that? Oh, he plays rock music.
He's this kid who really likes to rock. You know,
man.
You know, he's kind of like Johnny B. Good.
The Weedsman Podcast. ChristopherMedia.net.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the name your price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the name your price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
ChristopherMedia.net. The Weedsman Podcast.
Which all that early rock shit anyway was just, it was all dirty shit. They were talking about getting their dick sucked and banging chicks and young chicks. Like banging 14-year-old chicks. And getting in trouble with the law and all. It was just all, it was all euphemism and story. It was that pre-singer-songwriter boom era of the 70s where we still understood entertainment as entertainment and not everything that somebody sang to be like the words that they thought of as they, you know, like all of Bob Dylan's songs came like teleported into his brain as is and just flowed through him like that. Ben Gillette, being a huge fan of Bob Dylan, talks a lot about this idea of admiring Bob Dylan, thinking he's such a great poet and thinking that this poetry is just transcendent and that these words are so sacred. And then some like book is published of his writings, or you know, and they have actual copies of his journals, and it's written and rewritten and crossed out and written. It's just work, right? It's not magic. Mm-hmm. That was he puts it better than I can because it's his story, but that was kind of a revelation for him, understanding that like this is just he's just working at making what he thinks is a good song.
Yeah,
it's not that he has like you know, a muse that works through him. Still not a big Dylan fan.
I think he's overrated, man. I think he's got a handful of great songs, And he's been coasting on them for like 5 decades.
I like Bob Dylan.
This is one of them.
I like Bob Dylan as a person, as a personality, right? Yeah. I like the idea that he seems to always be true to himself. Bob Dylan is like, I think everybody knew. Usually you meet somebody as a teenager that is just like super passionate, right? Has these solid ideas of what the world is like, and maybe a little radical, and they're just super passionate about it. And you might not agree with them, but you respect their passion for their beliefs. And I respect his passions for the beliefs and what the world is and how he sees it. I just, the language that he's speaking directly, it's not tickling my brain. It's not. Yeah, and then he chokes on a harmonica, and I'm like, see, this is why we don't hang out. And it's not straight up like, oh, his voice or whatever. I mean, I don't know what it is. It's unexplainable. Why does the work that... Why is it that, these weird-ass songs that Frank Zappa makes speak to me directly, even though they might not have any lyrics. They're entitled something completely bizarre that makes no sense. But that music speaks to me, and this doesn't.
Dylan is just the guy, and it would have been, if it wasn't Dylan, it would have been somebody else. He was the guy in popular music that let everybody know all of your songs don't have to be about girls and cars.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
That's what the Beatles will tell you that the effect they had on them too. Like, hey man, they don't all have to be love songs. They don't have to you can write songs about.
And that was that divide that I was talking about earlier, that singer-songwriter era that came about, that he was part of ushering in. Mm-hmm. By the time you get to the 70s, it's straight up, that's all the charts are, is fucking Carole King and Elton John, even though he wasn't writing his own shit. And all these people that were more, instead of presenting the band, they were presenting the artist.
Yeah,
right?
The person who's actually writing the song.
And we stopped doing this separation of like, oh, James Taylor is telling a story. They're like, no, his wife died in a plane crash. No, you don't understand. And then it was just like, from there on out, anything that somebody's saying about, like, that is 100% what they did, what they believe, who they are. And the idea of writing fictional third-person narrative stories was just destroyed. We don't, as a general public, believe it anymore.
Oh, that's what James Taylor looks like now.
Well, he's doing all right. Dude, the guy was fucking bald when we were kids.
It's true.
Like, what do you want from him? I think he's toughing it out pretty well, I would say.
Just yesterday morning, they let me know.
I think didn't he just announce a tour or some shit?
Probably.
Suzanne, the plans they made put an end to you.
I mean, well, that's canceled.
Everything's canceled.
Yeah,
it's all canceled.
Right. Well, I think the James Taylor concert would be amongst the tops, right?
Oh, yeah, it's true. It's fan base.
We're going to get 10,000 people over 65 together?
Yeah, absolutely
not. That's not a great idea. Yeah. I mean, this song is he's been open and talking about. Wasn't his wife or fiance or somebody that was on a plane that he was watching coming in and actually saw the wreck or some shit?
That's fucked up. That happened.
Right. Yeah, that's fucked up to happen. That's fucked up to write a song about. And then to have that song be a hit and played everywhere?
I've always thought songwriters were a little too opportunist.
James, could you go into a restaurant for the decade after that?
Yeah.
For years afterwards, he's probably somebody's like, let me turn on the stereo, and they go, oh, please don't.
Yeah.
I know it's only like a 5% chance that song's going to be played, but still.
Close your eyes and think of me.
Oh, I need a nap.
I know.
It's like musical anesthetic.
Yeah, James Taylor saw Kenny Loggins and he was like, it's still a little too rock and roll.
Yeah, tone it down.
I see where you're going with this, but man, like, you were like House on Pooh Corner. You and Messina had it. Ever since you started going weird with these like movie themed.
You just like, hey, turn it down.
No.
Electric guitar?
Yeah.
Calm the fuck down.
Hey. This is Sunday morning, all right? It's too early for that shit. We got a nice fire going. We got a nice breakfast. Drinking some coffee with our significant other of many decades. We're in the golden age of our...
Whoa, we're over 100 beats per minute? Come on, guys, let's rein it in. Oh, well, come on, guys. Let's calm it down, gentlemen.
And now you're swinging.
Yeah.
See, like, you start swinging the beat, people moving their hips.
Yeah.
That is not taking a bubble bath at the end of a long week. That is not relaxing with a nice crossword puzzle.
Oh, what's this? Whoa, guys.
Oh, you double timed it.
Yeah.
What are we, cocaine heads?
Yeah.
Over here?
Did we do an 8-ball before we came in this morning? A horn section? Are you out of your mind?
Maybe the coffee was a bad idea. Let's just do a chamomile, all right? Let's have some nice chamomile. Let's relax.
Oh, I see what happened.
Horns. Guy, no, this is not.
I see what happened. I see the tiny cups. You guys found out about espresso.
All of this shit goes away to have, like, quadruple tracked acoustic guitars.
Yeah.
And in a light rhythm section.
Oh, whoa! What's this? An electric guitar solo?
Somebody banging on the piano like a goddamn chimpanzee.
Shut it down, guys.
What is it? People are just
shut it down.
Sounds like somebody just barged into the studio with a broomstick and started whacking instruments.
Yeah.
Like, all I can say for you guys is that you're in time with each other, at least.
Hey, why don't you guys just go open up for Metallica? That's a band that's going to be around in 15 years. You'll understand then.
Like, what are artists going to do? Artists were like, hey, we can make money selling our music on physical formats. And we're like, yeah, but we like digital. This is, first of all, easier to steal. And they're like, fuck, okay, we can make money on T-shirt sales and touring. Yeah, but people are getting sick now, so what else you got?
Right.
Like, what's left? What are all these musical artists going to make?
Podcasts. And then we're fucked.
Yeah. That's why I think it was on, I'd like to steal this joke as my own, but it was on Wait, Don't Tell Me. And because everyone's been talking about these times of quarantine. Anytime we see shit like this, I mean, we had a blackout for 72 hours in a quarter of the nation and had a baby boom from it. Right? It just happens. You take away people's entertainment, they go back to fucking.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And so we're going to have a COVID-19 baby boom. Can't remember the host's name on Wait, Don't Tell Me. But he was predicting more of a podcast boom than a baby boom. This is going to be the time that everyone's going to finally start that podcast.
Oh, you mean the million people left who don't have one?
Yeah.
I heard your cats have a podcast. My cat does.
Yeah, I want to do a remix of that LCD Sound System song, but it's just about podcasts instead of bands.
Yeah.
Is it called You're Losing Your Edge? I'm losing my edge.
Yeah, podcast's a new band. Like, everyone used to be in a band, now everyone's got a podcast.
I heard that you and your friends stopped your Star Wars podcast to start a political podcast. I heard that you and your friends stopped your political podcast to start a Star Wars podcast.
I heard I would listen to neither of those podcasts.
Yeah. That's something, I've filled to the brim with both subjects.
I'm just filled to the brim with podcasts.
I've actually expanded. And I consciously went in search of other things. And like, I think I was telling you, I was listening to a fictional half improv podcast called Mission to Zizix. That's been quite fun. And I've been listening to We Hate Movies, which is self-described as 4 fat guys sitting around complaining about bad movies. Very entertaining, though.
See, for me, I've noticed what's happened is in radio programmers, I don't know what this means, but I've noticed my podcasts have all turned into their podcasts from local people. Like, I still got Adam Carolla, but he's the only... Adam Carolla now is probably the only podcast I listen to that isn't based out of Detroit. Like,
You're mostly local.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's not a bad idea.
I wonder if other people have, if I'm an anomaly or if other people have evolved into doing that. Like, I don't listen to their, some of them aren't on terrestrial, but I don't listen to their terrestrial show. There's one that I do listen to, not regularly, but it's a sports one. He has a terrestrial show. I don't listen to the terrestrial show, but I listen to his weekly podcast.
Yeah.
Take that for what that means, radio programmers. I don't listen to it.
That on demand makes all the difference.
But I don't listen to it regularly. Well, no, exactly. You know what I figured out? You know what the problem is? Is the signal. Is government mandated digital TV signal like 10 to 15 years ago. They haven't done it with radio yet. So the signal's not totally because I'm thinking, if the signal's totally digital, why can't we pause radio yet? It's just like getting an audio stream if it's digital signal, but it's not. It's not a completely digital signal yet. It's still a hybrid signal. So if the government goes and does that, then what? Because to me, once you can start, to me, the game changer is being able to pause. It's not even being able to fast forward. It's being able to stop and start it. That comes in.
Or skip back if you miss something.
Yes.
Yeah. That technology is so fucking simple, especially now for just doing audio.
Yeah.
That should just be in car stereos anyway. All you need is a little buffer, a little audio chip with a little buffer.
If it's a digital signal, it should be buffering, but it's not.
Well, you're correct in your assessment that if they were purely digital, that it would be easy to control that. And it's the mix of analog and digital that makes it more difficult. But after you get to that stage where your radio is receiving the signal, it could have its own buffer that just takes that incoming audio and just throws that into a buffer so you can skip back and just TiVo.
Even too, you could skip because
TiVo for audio in cars. Like, why don't we have that?
You would just have because it's getting the buffer. It would just know what song is going to be next, and it would just play that song, and you could skip it. And you would have to, and you'd have to do it like Pandora. You can only get a certain amount of skips per hour because the radio programmer's got to account for that, and they program 4 extra songs per hour. No,
that's really like fucking with the radio algorithm, though.
Well, hey, you got to evolve or die, radio.
Yeah,
I've been back in for like 6 months, and I've been reading lots of shit, and I can tell you, take it for what it is, but I can tell you a lot of what mistakes have been made and what they're not doing.
Yeah.
Like, this is someone we've been doing this for fucking 6 years. Like, I can take mistakes terrestrial is making. But they viewed the digital space as a competition rather than something that can help them. That is the number one biggest mistake they've made. Instead of something that could help them, they viewed it as competition. Dumb. It's not going away.
Yep.
You should have embraced it.
Well, that's nothing new, right? I mean, look at all the formats that have happened with audio. And
what's another thing?
Every single time it's like, cassette tape is competition. I didn't even know this. I was reading a brief article about different types of audio formats over the ages. And when they started doing cassette tapes,
trust me, everything is going to kill radio.
The music industry insisted on getting taxing a separate tax for recordable media that would go back to the record industry, which, I mean, isn't an absurd idea.
Mm-hmm.
The Weedsman Podcast. ChristopherMedia.net.
Of all the streaming services out there, only one is different. Discovery Plus. It's the greatest collection of real-life entertainment on the planet. 55,000 episodes of food, love, true crime, home, from networks like TLC, HGTV, and tons more. Yes! With stars like Chip and Jo, an exclusive new series from 90 Day Fiancé, all in one place. Bam! Discovery Plus. Stream now. Stream what you love.
Imagine the greatest collection of real-life entertainment on the planet, all in one place. Go ahead. Dare to stream with Discovery Plus. 55,000 episodes from networks like TLC, HGTV, Food Network, and more. If you can dream it, you can stream it. See what I did there? Discovery Plus. Stream now. Stream what you love.
ChristopherMedia.net. If you like this show, please tell a friend. Please make sure to rate and comment on all your favorite Christopher Media shows. Please follow us on Twitter and like and share us on Facebook. You can subscribe to all ChristopherMedia.net shows for free on ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for listening, and thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.